to know you. Have some fun. We have a big storm last night. Oh my goodness. All right, lights went out. We just got them back on, and what we got to do is have some fun. So sorry if I'm late, because we normally try to do this at 3:15 in the morning. No, what have you been doing? All right, now let's see if I can make this brighter over here on this one. Okay. All right, let's have some fun. Now, what do we get to do? All right, let's see. Today, wow, is it January 9th? Let's look at the calendar. Yes! You see, we're losing some time. You see, it's like our lives here. We have to realize something. Okay, this year is going to be gone like that. If we don't start counting every day, we're going to basically have a problem. So the first thing I do every morning when I drop to my knees at 1:45 in the morning is I pray. I thank God for yesterday, the day before that, and today too, and tomorrow. And I ask for forgiveness because I'm a sinner. I screw up all the time. All right, I just try to do my best and let God do the rest. Amen to that too. Now today, I'd like to change your life if you allow me to. Okay, a lot of you have been here before. If not, it's the first time, fantastic. All right, I want you to DM me. I want you to share the live with everybody. And I want you to understand they call me the Godfather Credit. Now, the reality is they nicknamed me that on KNX Radio. I've been on that station now 50 years. Amazing, okay? Helping people for 50 years. What a concept. Now, I had to reboot some of the computers, and that's fun. I got to restore this one, and this one, and this one as an ay. Because when all the lights go out, it makes your computers reboot. I don't like that when they reboot. It's like, ay, we're going to have some fun. All right, so now, we're going to have some fun. All right, some of you were online last night at 3 o'clock with me. I like building what's called blueprints. Okay, it makes very sense to me. I like blueprints. I want you to think about blueprint of success, okay? What I created in 1976. Good morning, Jay. Okay? All right, this is true, something that gets, I'm sorry, it scrolls so much fast. You're on the line, like the live, please, okay? We talked about your nonprofit yesterday because you have an LLC nonprofit and 8 states allow that. Okay, and that's good because on an LLC, there's actually 9 types of LLC. But the thing is to help every one of you. See, you got an LLC, an LLP, fantastic, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, or a PC. There's 6 types of categories. The Supreme Court says they're legal people, a legal person. That's what they call them, which is great. So if we understand how to play the game, we can actually plan to win. Is that all right? I like winning the game of business. Now I'm going to adjust this a little bit, make sure the camera's nice and clean. Sometimes it's like not so broad there. It's a little better. Okay. All right. As I try to get the office set up a little bit, and literally driving here, it's like I got to weave through the streets. You got palm tree stuff everywhere. It's a friggin' mess. But at least God let us to be here today, okay? All right, knew what teach me or to win. I have an LLC. Well, the first thing you have a problem is, Christina, is your LLC is on the Secretary of State's website. So if the LLC gets sued, they sue you, okay? See, you think it's going to play peekaboo. What happens on the social media thing, I started this about 7 weeks ago. I wanted to see if social media works as well. Okay, no problem. You see, I write checks for millions of dollars all the time. Radio, TV, and all this other stuff. For about 32 years in California, I was known as the second largest advertiser in California, which is kind of fun too. So as you listen and learn today, we get to play. So I'm only new to the social media situation for about 7 weeks. How am I doing so far? All right, I got, I think, almost 18,000 followers on TikTok. That's kind of fun. But again, what do we have to do? Now we're going to go back to basics, and then I'm going to go into the classroom in the room next door. Excellent, fantastic, thank you. Share the live. The love's great. Okay, I love that. This is kind of fun. It reminds me of doing my big seminars at the Ponovich or at the pond before it became Honda Center. It's kind of fun. I like that stuff. So what do we do? Number 1, all right, I'm hoping you have a tablet and pen in front of you. A tablet and pen. What does this mean? If we have a tablet and pen, we can actually what I call begin. The bottom line is going to be up to you to play the game to win. I like to win the game, okay? So number 1, today's date is the 9th of January. We have to write that down because we have to be concerned about a couple things. Our concern factor is you and being a CFO. Most of you, okay, and it says tap the screen. I'm going to tap my screen. I gave myself a heart the other day. I like me. Tap the screen, tap it 1,000 million times, whatever that does for us. You can record your phone. No, now on a day, sir. Okay, yes, you can. Okay. Well, it's all kinds of fun stuff. But I'm learning the social media stuff. I have a media department. I've hired all these young people in my media department. I think we have now 5 people there, or maybe 6. We hired some more the other day. Our goal is to build it up and away, and have fun. So if we look at you right now, let's write down CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Okay. So when I asked about it, what do you do with an LLC? Well, that LLC should have $1 million of credit. You should have 9 divisions, so you have 10 million. But again, this person, you don't know what you're doing. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's amateur hour. You're following what I call the circus and all the clowns out there. We have to be a CFO. Let's understand. We have to be, for our personal life, a chief financial officer. We have to be. We have to be in charge, and that's how it works, okay? So the first thing is you, if you're married, separation, understand, together you're one under God's eyes. That's good, because that's what I did when I married my beautiful wife 20 years ago. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say God, family, money. God, family, money. That's how I live my life. God, family, money. So if I'm a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, first thing I have to do, my responsibility for my household, my family, is understand all cards fluctuate. Let's write it down. If I was you right now, I'd put all your personal credit cards in front of you. Okay, I would really do that right now. Okay, so you understand. You're single, fantastic. All right, as I build you to millions and billions of dollars, if you want to go that far too, you're going to get a prenup and a post-up when you do get married in the future, because that separates liability, by the way. We'll go into that as well. Now, 70s, late 70s, 80s, and 90s, okay? I'm the guy that trained a man named Ken Yarborough. Ken Yarborough was the basically CID, President Nixon's bodyguard, blah, blah, blah. He was security chief at TRW. TRW became a Aspiring in 96, I'm sorry, 96. So what happened is I got to train him. My concept was the oldest credit card. Let's understand what that means. So today, as we look at what we're trying to accomplish, we have to be that CFO. Okay, so guess what we have to understand is, all right, the bottom line is very simple as we play this game. So number one, okay, I said we want to have the oldest card, because back then it was inquiry based. That's why I started credit bureaus as inquiries, to make sure you don't shop around, rip off the banks. So if all cards fluctuate, this is a 50, this is a 10, okay? If we look at the $10,000 credit card today, okay, we have to put a sticky behind the card, a sticky. We have to dummy proof this, okay? I'll send you, all right, no problem, as we have some fun. All right, no problem. So again, what do? You got to find a lawyer to file. No, don't file bankruptcy. Please don't file bankruptcy. Let me get to figure out some things for you. Bankruptcy is one of the worst things I'd say to file. There's other ways to deal with your process. A bankruptcy should only be filed if they're taking your house tomorrow, or basically going to garnish your wages tomorrow. If that's not happening, you got time. But I'm not here to be an attorney, but I'll basically show you how to rebuild yourself before or after or during bankruptcy. It's up to you. And if you do file bankruptcy, make sure you seal the record. You see, there's a company called Statewide out there. As I'm trying to explain this, I'll answer questions as they come up. If I miss your question, okay, all right, DM me or repeat it, because I'll get to your questions, or my team will get to you as well. So let's understand something. All right, all cards fluctuate but 2. Let's write it down. All credit cards fluctuate but 2. What does this mean? When I helped design the system, it's 29%. Let's write down 29%. So I wrote down 25 to 29%. This is a $10,000 card, $10,000 worth. If I take this past $2,900, I drop my score, I get stuck and can't get any more. And that's what you did. All of you screw up your credit because of the up and down show, up and down, because I don't think a lot of you know what you're doing. Some of you have really, like this guy wants to file bankruptcy. But I think there's a way around that before you file the bankruptcy. But there's always solutions for things. I believe there's a solution for everything. So what do? If I put a sticky behind my credit cards and I keep the discipline that a card, literally for $10,000, I can only use it for 29% at the most. Okay, so let's understand. So the bottom line is what? 29%. The reason credit bureaus say below 30, they're not giving the actual answer. I was about to sue Credit Karma again during pandemic because they kept telling people 42%. I helped set up the system, so I know the rules and tools pretty easily. Cards fluctuate. These fluctuate. What does this mean? Based on utilization of 29% below, you're in the green. If you get to 30, you're in the yellow, 50's in the red. So if you're going to be a CFO, a chief financial officer, your responsible is for your credit score to be 750 and above. And that's what the goal should be. And I'll help you get there as well. I do not do credit repair. Credit repair is a scam and it's a fraud, unless you want to rip off your creditor. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, you can look it up. It'll say credit repair is a scam, not collect money up front and be a nonprofit and bonded. Unfortunately, they do not. Okay, what do we do? So the reality is someone asks, do I believe in horoscopes? No, I believe in God, sir. Or ma'am, whatever you are, okay? He didn't say what you are. So I'm going to look at God first. I'm going to look at my family. My wife and I became one. So when I say family, it means my wife and I, okay? And then I'm going to look at finance. I'm going to look at, very simple, I need lots of help. Which button should I click on your link? Well, the reality is I would look at the link tree, DM me, okay? We'll have one of our specialists call you back. That's all you need to do. Leave us a message. From there, it's 3:55 in the morning here, okay? I do this very early because I'm up at 1:45 because I'm having fun. And I was bored anyway. So what happens is we do this for the last 7 weeks and see if it's going to be something we want to do. Nice chair. Okay, I like the chair. It's comfortable. All right, let's understand something. If I'm a responsible person, which you need to be, and all of you are, and God put us here together, and that's fun, CFO means we have to maintain these cards at 29%. That's sticky time. Now, all cards fluctuate but two. Listen carefully to what I just said. All credit cards fluctuate but two. These are the two that do not fluctuate. I have excellent credit. I started my corporation. I love the chat. All right, send you a DM. That's fine. We'll get that as well. Now, your corporation should have 9 divisions for 9 lines of credit. And understand, listen to this very carefully. What happens is simple. These cards do not, fluctuate. When I helped design the system, American Express uses what I use, okay? In other words, I created what's called dummy credit card, and the blueprint of success. I own the rights to that for 40 years. And I'll go into that as well. They use blueprint loan and dummy code, okay, after me. But I help them, basically simple. What do you mean by fluctuation? If you use this past 29%, your score goes up and down like a yo-yo, up and down, up and up and down, okay? So what happens is you jack it up. You drop your score, you can't get any more. You actually do this to yourself. So that's fluctuation. American Express Gold and Platinum cards, paid over time limits $100,000 up to $1 million. They're unlimited cards. So if I get these cards and I have an emergency today, I'm not going to jack up the wrong damn card like you did. Every one of you jack up the wrong card because no one taught you rules and tools. And unfortunately, that's just the way it works. Okay, so you got to learn rules and tools. So we're going to write down rules and tools. Fluctuation, all cards but 2. These do not fluctuate. So what happened is, if you had an emergency, lost your job, in some kind of whatever it is, you'd use these cards. These cards would not bring your score down. You bring your score down because you maxed out your damn credit card. Also, American Express, they offer you 99 more cards. So that person says, I got an LLC, the goal is we want $1 million of credit. Now, we're going to talk about corporations, entities, LLCs, and pieces. They have 6 ink cards. And ink's great because they don't show up on personal file. And they basically usually about $50,000 each. And there's no interest up to 22 months, okay? And then I want to talk about checkbook money. So I'd like to have you write down checkbook money. Okay, that's a line of credit for $150. These are $150s. And then the reality is blueprint loan is up to $250. So I'm going to walk around the office a little bit. I'm going to go into the building next door. You can follow me, okay, as long as I don't drop this, and hopefully I don't. So the bottom line is very simple. So today, we could actually learn to play the game of business. And that's what I would like to teach you if you want to listen and learn. Now, out there in the circus every day, and I call it a circus because I see all these clowns trying to teach you a bunch of crap. They tell you about, you can use the gold or platinum this way or that way. They tell you need 3 LLCs. No, you don't. It's a bunch of crap. Okay? What we're going to do is basically have a change of heart and change of life today. You're going to change your life. It is January 9th, 2026. I'm going in the building next door. The building next door is the Reynolds University, by the way. It's a nonprofit 501c3, and it carries a $5 million bond, and so does the other companies as well. So If we go through this process, we can listen and learn, and the goal is CFO first. And the one who wants to file bankruptcy, let me talk to you first, please. I'd like to show you a way not to file bankruptcy. Again, bankruptcy would be filed if, okay, they're going to garnish your wages tomorrow, or they're going to take your house because you're going to court. Until then, no, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time not to file bankruptcy. But again, what do we get to do? But it's going to be up to you if you want to listen and learn, and that's what the goal should be. Let's listen and learn and understand what we should be doing today, okay? So again, I'd like you to write down today's date. January 9th, all right, we know it's 2026, okay? Now, we're going to have some fun, as long as I don't drop this, okay? Kind of fun things as well. Now, there's the board that I actually create a blueprint every day for people, a blueprint. I'd like you to write down blueprint of success. Is that okay if you write that down for me and for yourself? What does this mean? I've been teaching and preaching for 49 years. As of March of this year, it'll be 50 years, okay? I'm online 6 days a week or in person. I've done this for almost 50 years. What does this mean? Thank you for everything. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Show the love, share the share the live with everybody. DM me and help me get to the point that I want to get to. Now, what does this mean? Good morning, Nikki. How you doing? All right. If we listen, I can rebuild your life my way. My way is millionaire, billionaire, okay? So let's understand a long, long time ago, okay, probably before a lot of you were born, all right, I'm known as Dr. Reynolds, Pastor Reynolds, or Hey You. This is my first system I put out there in 1976, okay? A long time ago. 1976, I created something called Winning the Game of Business. The big black cassettes and all kinds of stuff, okay? And that's what I did back then as well. So the main thing is to help people get to the process that they can actually get the truth. What I call the circus every day is those silly people on social media. You need 5 LLCs, peekaboo. No, you don't. Okay, you need a secret trust. No, you don't. All this crap out there, it's ridiculous. I know little pieces, and then most of them don't know diddly squat. Now, like I said, I want you to be a CFO for your family first. Your credit score goes up and down, up and down. There's a graph. And if you went to analytical750.com, you'd see a graph going up and down based on utilization. Utilization is fluctuation. Utilization is fluctuation. Let's write it down. If you went to Experian.com, you'd see the same thing. So what we have to understand is we're responsible people, and bad things happen to good people all the time. So what do? Well, first of all, we go back to basics. We have to build a foundation. Foundation for me is God, family, money. When I say family, always remember Ray Reynolds, the Dr. Reynolds, Pastor Reynolds, Hey You. Oh, he's talking about husband and wife become one. When we get married, and I married my wife 20 plus years ago. So understand something. Our goal is to change our lives. If I'm a CFO and I'm a responsible person, I have to realize credit fluctuates. I, Ray Reynolds, helped set up the system with Ken Yarbrough in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. Fluctuation is simple, utilization. If I have this card, it's $10,000 card right here, okay? I have to put a sticky in the back of it. That means $10,000, I can only use $2,900, and I want to take $2,500 to $2,900. If I use $3,000, I'm in the yellow. They don't teach you this, and they should do this every day. So if I go 50%, it's basically what? In the red. And that's what happens with most of you. You have the up and down show all the time. We got to get to the point we stop. This is a 50. This is a 10. I want to get you 7 of these and 1 of these. I'd like to get you $100,000 of credit personally, so you have $71,000 of safety when you have an old blankety day, week, month, or year. Problem, most people, they panic. These cards don't fluctuate. Write it down. And I always show my example as my wife's cards, because there's always some turd or ding dong. You really have the cards? A lot of silly people out there have a lot of blah, blah, blah to say. 99% of people like me, 1% might not. But not everybody likes you either. So that's how it works. These don't what? Fluctuate. If I lost my job today, I would not panic. I would look at my credit, I'd look at my finance, I'd look at my life and my family and my God as well. Then if I had to use a card, I'd use these. The paid overtime limit is $100,000, and it's up to $1 million card. Got it? So it's like real estate should be a division process. We'll get that in a minute. My credit is bad. I can't even get one of those. Guess what? I'm an affiliate, sir, ma'am. I scrolled so fast, I can't tell what it is. Okay, sorry, no offense. I have $62 million of credit on my dashboard. Live credit, not trade line crap. You'll find out I'm the real deal. How's that? And I'm online 6 days a week, twice a day. Today, you're going to write down 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You're going to have a tablet and pen. You're going to change your whole schedule to play with me at 3 o'clock today. What's the best process to get a Amex? Well, gold and platinum, if done correctly, there's no inquiry. All I got to do is get you to 649. Once again, these cards fluctuate. These do not. Emergency time, what card do we use again? American Express Gold and Platinum. They do not fluctuate. The only 2 cards on planet Earth, they do not fluctuate. And nobody teaches you this for safety. They're all giving you the blah, blah, blah. You need 3 LLCs. Oh, I can go to the bank and get 100,000. No, you can't. It's crap. We have to understand something, okay? So let's understand. We got to the basic thing about personal credit. God, family, money, okay? Now, I'm going to write on the board. I wish you had a tablet and pen. I'm going to give you some examples this morning. Examples. I would like you to show up at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today. I'd like you to DM me. Thank you for joining the fan club. Thank you for sharing the live with everybody. That's fantastic. I love that stuff. Because I've been on now, this is my 7th week on basically social media to see if I like it and have some fun. So far, I'm having a great time. Knowledge is a gift. No, God is the gift. The brain is the knowledge if you pay attention. As a kid, I was used and abused, and it sucks. I didn't get a mommy and daddy like most of you, so I had to hide at the library. And I read. And yes, I went to school, got all the paper too. You see, when they tested me at T-Week junior high, my IQ is 203, by the way. I have total recall on most things. Okay, and I write with both hands, talk at the same time, have fun. And I used to piss people off. Okay, I'm at a 520. Congratulations, I'll get you to 650. All right, in 90 days and 750 in basically 6 months. All you have to do is let me help you. My paralegals will do that with you. Now let's watch. I'm going to go to the board. Thank you for the cowboy hair and the mustache. Okay. Now, I want you to write down the word banks. Okay, just for the fun of it, banks. I want you to understand what banks do. And I want to make sure I got to turn this a little bit this way more, okay? Hopefully I don't drop it. So banks, what do banks do? Last year, they bankrupt 22,000 locations, bankrupt. They have branches. As you know, they have branches, and that's what they do. Now, a branch number. Let's write down the word branch number. Let's understand. I'm going to show you how the system works so I can rebuild you to $1 million structure. Is that okay? If I help you get $1 million a year easily, okay, in the next 6 months, would you do what I tell you to do? Okay? But again, you have to follow through, but I want to show you how to do this and have some fun. Okay, let's see if that'll scroll. And we'll make sure I stopped it over that. Okay. Now, banks, they file what? Bankruptcy. So last year, they bankrupted 22,000 locations. A branch number. This is called a line of defense. Write down line of defense. An example. So they bankrupt a branch. This is called bankruptcy. Someone talked about bankruptcy earlier. Bankruptcy is the Federal Protection Act. They created that before debtor's prison, okay? Debtor's prison, then they went to bankruptcy code, Federal Protection Act. Automatic stay. People panic when they don't need to file bankruptcy because they're going to beat you up. Unless you're losing a house tomorrow or they're garnishing your wages tomorrow, I say don't file bankruptcy. Let me talk to you a little bit more. Let me show you ways. I just stopped a client the other day filing bankruptcy, all right, because I don't want him to bankrupt his life and his wife. Now, if banks bankrupt locations called branch numbers, and I'm not here to be an attorney. That's not my job. I want to open your eyes to what you could create in the next 6 months or less, okay? So again, they bankrupt. Now, let's understand something. We will pay tax. You will pay tax, like it or not. Okay, but again, there's a way to do tax balancing. Okay, tax balancing. So if we look at this, this is the IRS. By the way, all these things out there, oh, you can basically hide behind the IRS. This is crap. Okay, the IRS is going to tax you on your paycheck. You have no choice. Why? Because you have an SSN. You or mommy signed an SS5 form to get an SSN. The SSN, Social Security number, says do not laminate, don't use for ID purposes ever, And the reality is very simple. Flip your screen, okay? I don't want to flip my screen if it's backwards. They said yesterday it's not backwards. Is it backwards today? Who knows, okay? So I don't want to flip my screen. So again, what are we going to do? Because I can't read the questions if I flip the screen the other way, okay? So let's play. Now, if the banks here are doing tax balancing, so could you. Tax balancing is the idea, okay? Okay, so yes it is. Okay, so it's backwards, okay? Yesterday it wasn't, today it is. All right, what did Nick do to my phone? I don't know, okay. So we won't use words, okay? So guess what? Now let's understand something. I would like you to have different things. Let's write it down. LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, PC. Supreme Court says these entities are legal people. Legal what? People. Okay? All right? So again, we don't need to worry about the words. Okay? Let me take the words off because everybody will say words. Okay? Let's not worry about words. Okay? Let's worry about the design, what I'm saying. This afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I will show you a blueprint to change your life, and I'll guarantee it. I will teach you more in one day than you've learned in a lifetime about personal business credit. I'll guarantee that too. Now, let's understand something. You're going to draw a box, okay? Here's your box. You're going to have 9 divisions. 9. So let's do this very simple. All right, let's draw a box in 9 divisions, okay? There's 5, 6, 7. Let's go this way, 8, and 9, okay? Now, if you have that LLC, the LLP, the C Corp, the S Corp, the nonprofit, the PC, which is professional corp. The LLC has 9 types of LLCs. Which kind do you have? There's the thing you got to look at. Okay, the next thing is what I want you to do is write down entity. Entity. Whatever you have can have 9 divisions. You can have more, but I want you to start with 9. Why would I start with 9? If I take the $62 million of credit here in my hand and dashboards, I can take that times 9. I can take it into every entity, okay? LLC, LLP, some else best courts have, all right, stated, these times are there for, well, they're fictitious business. Well, the difference, that's, you're taking the court thing bottom line. But I guess you must be an attorney, okay? But I retired from all that crap. I don't give a damn what the court says. Okay? What I care about is you protecting yourself. Because if they sue the LLC, the LLP, the S Corp, the C Corp, the nonprofit, all right, they sue you. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay? So good morning, Brandy. Now let's understand something. If they sue the LLC, because understand, your entity is on what? It's on Secretary of State's website. The state shows its entity you filed. If they sue it, they sue you. That's just the facts, okay? If we listen very carefully, you've been taking personal credit to finance a business. That's why most of you have crappy credit or crappy limits and all kinds of mess. Because you don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you this the truth, okay? If you turn around today and I take a gold or platinum card, American Express card up here for the parent company. These are $100,000. So these cards are $100,000 paid over time limit. Got it so far? And don't worry about fluctuation because they don't fluctuate. American Express and under the Fair Lending Act will hand you 99 more cards. How many would you like? Okay? I thought the process or purpose of an LLC is to protect your assets. Well, the reality is, Steve, the problem is an LLC is sued, you're screwed up, okay? So the LLC, what you watch on social media, all right, it's going to play peekaboo, I need 3, that stop. It's a bunch of crap. You do not need all that crap that they're telling you, the circus and those clowns out there. An LLC, if it is sued, they sue you. Because an LLC, as you say, this is a minute and bylaw book. The LLC is driven by, all right, certificate of ownership. You're the managing member. You're managing this. If it is sued, they sue you. You're on officer's list. You're on the bank account. They follow the money. So if you think an LLC protects you, then you're listening to a bunch of dummies. An LLC does not protect you, okay? And a irrevocable trust can. But if you would do like I did, I studied the Rockefellers as a kid. But I studied every rich and famous person because I was an orphan, eating out of a trash can, and I was hid at the library all the time. I would read all the time. So when I created my first system in 1976, okay, this is it here, winning the game of business, okay? Winning the game of business, I published that in 1976. I'm driving a Lamborghini, Quintosh. I'm going to Owens Coast College part-time. I get a million north of the bank. By the way, I was 16. What the hell did you do at 16? Okay, simple. Okay, let's understand. 16-year-old Quintosh, Lamborghini, million dollars of the bank, and the government sucks me into a program, all right, when I was 14 and a half, a 2-week junior high. So I created my first billion at 21 structure, 2.6 billion, 26. When I died in a coma in 2009, the structure was about 3.7 billion. So again, I don't own anything. I'm not dumb enough to say mine. So again, it's not that little book about the trust, excuse me. There's a lot more than an irrevocable trust. You got to have the whole foundation. Now, for you, if you have children, okay, maybe you're a child. I would like you to get a copy of my book called Winning the Game of Business, but I'd like you to get a copy of Starting Out Right. I wrote this dedicated to my professor, all right, my friend, and basically attorney Harold Stokes, who passed away several years ago. This is going to teach everybody in high school and college the rules and tools that I created in the 70s and 80s when I helped set up the system behind the scenes. By the way, it's a free download. Free, okay? I want the world to get it for free. I like helping people. And by the way, every one of you need a copy too, because you don't know what the hell you're doing anyway, in my opinion. In my opinion. Now, years ago, depends on your age, and most of you are basically 35 to 75, you're disappointed, your friends and family ripped you off, and bottom line, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for the rose. I thought the purpose of an LLC is to protect your assets. No, it's not. Irrevocable trust does that. The LLC sued, screwed up, that's how it works. Okay, I would love that for my son. Well, get to DM me, get to the link tree, all right, download it, get it to yourself as well. Everyone in high school and college have to not make the same stupid mistake we did. You have an LLC, congratulations. Have 9 divisions, okay? Now, years ago in the credit bureaus, you would have saw something called consumer credit counseling. Okay, that was one of my companies, okay? I've been around a long time, a long time. When I wrote the book called Prove It or Remove It, that's to help people. The next thing is you had basically what's called winning the credit game. Winning the credit game. Because to me, as a kid, I turned this into a game. Got it? From there, the next cover of that, because I became a chess master at 13, as I showed it, is a chess game. Business is a game. We, the people, will pay tax. We pay tax on our paycheck. Listen very carefully. Okay? This other crap out there, you got to stop listening to a bunch of circus and clowns. You get a paycheck, it is taxed. It is taxed. You got no choice. Because why? You got an SSN that connects to the 1040 tax return. That's what it's for. We are bonded up to 35 million apiece. Our government gets us from birth and at the time of what? Time of death. So what do? So if we have, all right, the ability to listen and learn, our paycheck is taxed, we can make sure, listen to and write the words down. I want your paycheck to be your lifestyle. I want your lifestyle to be your paycheck. Because I'm going to show you how to get basically money back and actually kind of break even on your paycheck. Okay? Why don't they teach how to trade stock and everything in school? First, they don't teach credit, and they're going to teach you about trading stock and all that stuff anyway. That's why they want you to do things. From the first grade, that doesn't happen. But understand, if you want to trade stock, it's a division. If you don't create a line of defense, you're going to get your assets kicked. I'm not here to be shape an attorney, but I will change your life if you allow me to. At the back of my books, you'd always see one thing. I hold the record for the highest kick on planet Earth of 13 feet and the fastest kick on the planet in 1981. There's one of the cars in the car collection of 21 cars at the time, one of the mansions, and one of the yachts, okay? You'll find out I'm not full of crap. If you listen and learn, I'll change your life. If you show up today at 3 o'clock, I'm going to tell these people that I'm analyzing today how they can get to $1 million corporation in 6 months or less, okay? So again, what do? So we have to learn to play the game. Again, DM me. If I don't see your question fast enough, because they scroll pretty fast, we will get back to you guaranteed, okay? It is 4:20 in the morning here, Pacific Standard Time, because I'm up every day at 1:45. I'm an early person. I get about 3 or 4 hours sleep. That's all I need. So again, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and you'll get a link to get in here as well, okay? But understand, I want you to listen very carefully. We're going to talk about your paycheck. We're going to make sure you get your money back through house payment. You're going to break even. Your corporation is going to create $100,000 per entity, all right, per month, if you allow me to help you with that. At least in the beginning, you can start with what? $10,000? Now watch, okay? Every corporation, every LLC, LLP can get one of these 99 times. How many? 99. That would be $100 million, by the way, 100 million. The average person needs 8 to 9 hours. Oh, that's not true. Okay, the average person, I'll agree with that. Average person, maybe you're all average, so hopefully not. All right, most people that have high IQs sleep 4 hours at the most. Okay, 5 hours, I get a headache. So again, it just depends on the person. Again, all right, you like me, don't like me, whatever you're going to do. The bottom line is, please share the live. Very simple. Show us the kick. Why would I show you the kick? This is not being the circus. I'm trying to get you away from the circus, okay? Okay, the circus and the clowns out there. If you have an LLC, an LLP, all right, PC, okay, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, whatever you got, guess what? You get 99 of these. Would you like 99? Okay? I'd like you to have 9. If we have 9, let's understand. If I even take my wife's cards here, these are her cards. So I always use hers because there's always some turd to go, you really got him? There's a lot of dumb people in the world. There's a lot of circus clowns out there as well. Okay? So what do? If I take these cards and ask for 99 more, I can get 99 more. They even offer to you all the time. So if we took the cards and we got 9 of these, they're 100,000 each, paid over time limit. What is 10 times 100,000? That creates $1 million just off of a gold and platinum card. So if you allow me to use my, what? Dashboard, I'm an affiliate. I got $62 million of live cards to play with all the time, personal and business, and I help rich and famous people help you. Amex dropped me with a 10. Well, the reality is Amex can be a pain in the asset because they want to see transaction-based, they want to see utilization, and this last year they basically dropped people all the time. If you ever screw up Amex, they sue you. So again, make sure you always take care of that card. So share the live with everybody. Please share the live with everybody. Right, Tracy, have a good night. Okay, the realities, and so someone said good night. Okay, well, good night. Go to sleep. Sleep to me, and understand, I'm just talking about me. I have 5 daughters and a beautiful wife. Okay, and I have a beautiful boy. My daughters love to sleep. They're like cats. Okay, I'm sorry, I'd rather go conquer the world, have fun, than sleep. But again, we're not here to talk about sleep. We're here to talk about your LLC, your LLP, your C Corp, your S Corp, your nonprofit, or PC having 9 divisions. We're here to talk about tax balancing to get you back your money when you get a paycheck. Because you all get that check, you're taxed the moment you get your check. IRS got their cut off the money you worked your butt off for. Then everything you touch is tax, and probate when you're dead. That's how it works. Unfortunately, that's how it's always worked. So, if we go back to basics for all of you, and there's some of you latecomers, it's very simple. All cards fluctuate. What does that mean? Today, you have to be that CFO for yourself, Chief Financial Officer. If cards fluctuate, that means they go up and down based on utilization. When I helped set up the system in late 70s and 80s and 90s, oldest card, okay? And then from there, it's the 29% rule. If I put this card as $10,000 and I put my sticky behind the card, I can't go past $2,900. If I do, I'm in the yellow than the red. You backed yourself in a corner, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what happens, okay? So again, levels, we have level 1, 2, and 3 in specialty class tomorrow. Tomorrow's specialty class is about nonprofit, by the way. And we have goal setting in the morning, and today in the afternoon, we have 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, okay? If one of the divisions is sued, won't the parent company get in trouble? Hell no. This is why I designed the division process in 85, okay? Let's understand something. If a division is sued, all right, you can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. It's like the 9 types of LLC. There are 21 states that allow a LLC to be a series LLC, which allows sub-LLCs under the LLC. But there are 9 types to play the game. All right, so the bottom line is very simple. If we listen and learn, we can play the game to win. So a division, Are branches at banks sued? All right, they filed bankruptcy and they say what? Automatic stay. So again, if your LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, PC, or whatever you got has divisions, that means the parent company becomes a management company. All right, thank you for coming here, all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and the DMs and the loves. I love it. I'm having fun. So if your LLC is sued because it's on Secretary of State's website, you're screwed up. If your LLP, nonprofit, what? S Corp, C Corp, PC, which is a professional corp. So if it's screwed, you are sued and screwed up, you're screwed up. If you had a management company, as banks do it, manages locations or divisions, you get rid of a piece and save the other pieces. If you don't learn to separate liability, you're going to be a duck and a sheep your whole life. Sorry, that's how it works. If you're an expert in real estate, every piece of property should be a division. If it's not, then you're screwed up. You see, the problem with an LLC, if you had 3 properties, if one slips and falls and sues you and screws you up, you lose them all. You're older, slower, you're not as pretty as you used to be. If we took every property you have today and made it a division, that separates liability. So you're counting on a tenant to pay the bill, a tenant. All right, good luck with that. I'd rather get a 4-plex or apartment complex because on a piece of property, one house, you're not making maybe $200 to $600 a month if you're lucky. Now, if you had a nonprofit, which yes, this will be backwards, nonprofit with a division, and that house was under the nonprofit, this would be basically hospice and transportation. The Transportation Act alone gives you $100,000 a month of grant money. So if you had basically Transportation Act and you did this correctly, you would take that property over here and transfer it over here. Because that's $112,000. I don't want to write it because it's backwards. Okay? Yesterday wasn't today. So I'll have to ask my team because I don't want to switch anything, screw it up. So again, if I had a nonprofit organization, I can get a raise. I can get a paycheck. I can enhance my life with nonprofit and profit working in conjunction. That's how it works. So we could learn to play the game to win. That's why I wrote the original series in 1976, Winning the Game of Business. Got it? I published that in 76 when I was 16. Driving a Lamborghini with $1 million in the bank, having fun, but it's not my money. It belongs to the corporation, by the way. See, I'm not rich. I'd never be rich. I'm not dumb enough to say I'm rich. Only stupid people say I'm rich. Look at me, I'm rich. All right? I don't want you to be rich. I want you to be a puppet master. I want you to control the management company owning entities. I want you to create a line of defense. I create a division process, okay? You're our inspiration. Thank you. Well, the reality is I just want to give you the truth, Paul, and help people. And we go back to basics, God, family, money, and I can get you all to millionaire status situation. Millionaire status is 6 months or less. Some of you slow, 9 months or less. 2026, your life is going to change if you do it my way. Okay, your way, I'm sorry to say, sucks. Now, I'm the guy that trained Carlton Sheets, Dave Delgado, and rest all these people for years behind the scenes. Train their trainers. Is that okay? So again, I've been around a long time helping people. Basics again, fluctuation, stop fluctuating your damn credit, never go past 29%. Emergency time, gold and platinum cards, that's all we do. They don't fluctuate. Let's understand something. Would you be able to spend $287 a month? Could you, yes or no? For instance, this is an ink card. This is the invoice. Okay, this is a statement that comes out every month. The ink here is basically $28,000 and the payment's $287. Do you see that? It's probably backwards, but that's okay. $287. Okay? So if I can afford $300, I can spend that $28,000 to start my business or buy an income. Let's write down buy an income, okay? You'd use corporate credit to buy an income. Your problem is, I'm sorry, you don't know what the heck you're doing in most cases. I don't understand. When you drove by the Wendy's restaurant the other day, did you go inside and ask for the owner? There's no owner. It's run by a management company. Wendy's has less than a 3% ever fall out. It is boring and steady and boring. If you own 25% of a Wendy's restaurant, the income to one of the divisions is $10,000 a month. Your problem is you don't know what you're doing. Sorry to say, but it's true. In most cases. So I would say, do what you're doing, create your income, but on the side, let me rebuild you my way. Okay? I guarantee you, if you do what you're told this year, you will get $10,000 to the division. And if you did times 9 more times or 10, that's $100,000 a month. I build millionaires and billionaires every day. So if we look at corporate credit, because I'm the guy that set up the file, let's understand. I set up the credit bureau, the dashboard in 1987 when I'm training Ken Yarbrough. Okay? Now, here's 6 ink cards. They're 50,000 each. That's 350,000. Okay? So if I got ink cards for every division, that's 350,000 times 9 plus the parent company. So what's 350,000 times 10? Now, I like ink because there's no interest up to 22 months. Okay? I like personal chase cards, no interest up to 22 months. So again, what do? Mentor me. I mentor everybody. Simple. DM me, share the live with everybody, and I'll change your life. I'll guarantee it. Do you understand that I'm the largest registered agent in the world? You don't know that because I'm just trying social media, all right, based on TikTok and other things for the last 7 weeks. I was the second largest advertiser in California for 32 years. I usually just write checks for millions of dollars for advertised radio and TV. But I like having fun. I've been wanting to try this anyway, so I tried it. Isn't this fun? So again, if I want $35,000 times 9, listen carefully. The way I designed division process in 1985, every division has Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax. That's right. So your LLC is not going to have that. It has that if you let me set it up for you. Most of you don't have that set up yet. But how do you multiply? Thank you for joining the fan club. Thank you for sharing the live. So again, what do? The bottom line is how to change your life is listening, learning, and follow through. Now, let's understand. I'm online 6 days a week. I'm online twice a day, Monday through Friday. I've been in person or online for 49 years. Find somebody who's done what I've done. It's not as it exists. So that means you get stuck with me. If you bought any book I ever gave you, all right, you would have known that flat out winning the credit game, not only is it a free book, download, that I'm going to hold your hand and going to teach you how to basically do. All right, what? I'm going to teach you to follow through, and I'm going to help you because I don't want you to buy something from me and never know how to use it. Come on. So 1099 banks, or real scroll too fast. Again, DM me, we'll get to that question as well. Do you, they go way too fast. Do you meet people in person in California? Yeah, but I'm a premium. All right, you don't want to do that because I'm $5,000 an hour. Okay, but you know, it doesn't matter. Disney, Mattel, I helped their tax problem years ago if you don't know about that. Okay, all right, Toll Brothers, okay, all these other companies, and you know, we got IBM, we got Boeing, okay, we got Apple. They've all paid me big bucks. All right, that's half the fun. But I like what they accused me of doing. Okay, well, you know what they did? Yeah, I have that channel. Yes, of course I have. Now, I was accused by Guthrie Ranker years ago, you just want to help poor people. No, I want to help everybody, okay? See, some people, I just want to help the people who got the money. No, I want to help everybody. If they listen and learn, they can follow through. What a concept. So if we had a LLC, an LLP, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit PC, and you allow me to build your credit to the corporation, this $28,000 would cost you $300 a month, $287. Is that okay? No problem. This $27,000 on this one, all right, it is $270. See, your problem is you not financing the damn business. I don't understand what I used to call stupid. I'm not allowed to say stupid. This is $16,160 a month. You see, if you could pay attention and you could follow through, I can get you to millionaire status in less, usually 6 months or less. I like saying 90 days because I push you. But again, maybe you just want what? What can I do with an LLC and have 20,000? Well, first of all, if you have an LLC, I want you to have 9 divisions, minimum. Eventually, you're going to have 18. 9 lines of credit and 9 locations of a Wendy's restaurant, a storage unit, a laundromat. You go back in time, 40 plus years ago, I wrote the first book on laundromats and car washes. Okay, those are dummy-proof business. They're run by management companies. Now you got my clients out, you need a laundromat and car wash. No, you don't. You need to own the damn thing. One of my books was payphones. I used to have 22,000 payphones doing 6.6 million a month. Is that good? But it's not me. You have a nonprofit? Fantastic. You have a 501c3? Do you have 9 divisions? When I did nonprofit years and years ago, my first corporate is called Helping Hand Industries, by the way. You can look on Secretary of State's website in California, and it was started by a 9.5-year-old kid. I'm the kid that grew up, okay? So that's simple. I had $1 million in the bank at 14 years old, 15. But I lied and I borrowed someone's birth certificate. All right, I'm a sinner. God forgave me, ask forgiveness. So again, a corporation is, all right, no, Boeing's a corporation in Virginia. Well, it's actually in COBs in California too. They're everywhere. I also have an LLC. Fantastic. So again, all right, I got an LLC and I got a nonprofit. Fantastic. What are you doing with it? Ooh, it's about it. See, what happens if you don't know how to play, you're not going to win the game of business. If you took your LLC or nonprofit had divisions, you get to multiply credit reports. So the reality is, let me see if I can slow this sucker down. So you're saying a management company, I have a C Corp managing over entities. All right, no, I don't need C Corps, I don't need C Corps. A C Corp is double taxed. The LLC is taxed too. But if you turn them both into S, it's single filing for you. Got it? And I end up rhyming all the time too, sorry. But I try not to. You see, I write with both hands and I talk at the same time and I rhyme. They told me when I was a kid I was retarded. That's not fun. But then they found out I have total recall and an IQ of 203. Wow. So multiple LLCs, oh no, that's stupid. Earth Rocker, come on, this is dumb. I want 5 LLCs, peekaboo. That's BS. You don't need that. See, understand. A guy last week, I talked to him, I'm helping him right now. He's got 42 LLCs because he had 42 pieces of property. He's got 42 books like this. This is what? This is basically what? It's for the LLC or LLP or whatever you got, like a stock kit or membership kit. That means he has 42 books. He has spent over $60,000 on crap. And if he gets one lawsuit, because he's the managing member, he's got them on his possession. What's possession again? 9 cents of the law is what? But I'm not here to be shape an attorney. The reality is very simple. As we play the bottom line. Okay? So again, we get to play the game and win. No, sir, I changed my name. I didn't like the fact that my mother and father dumped me in a trash can outside Gardena Hospital when I was born in the taxi and gave me a friggin' girl's name. I went to basically Watts Torrance in Long Beach. You had to learn to kick it or run. So I don't use my first name. I actually removed it because it's a friggin' girl's name. So thank you for bringing it up because maybe you're one of those turds I have to block. There's always a turd or crappy people in this world today. So I don't use my first name because I actually went to court and removed that. So thank you for bringing up something that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So I understand. Hey, mommy jumped me in a trash can after being born in a taxi. No one gave a crap, okay? She puts me in the trash can outside the hospital with a note and gives me a girl's name. That kind of sucked. So I had to prove to the world I'm not stupid. Read every book I could, average of 15 books a week as a kid. So if you focus on learning, you can pay attention. What a concept. Okay, so let's understand. What do we do today again? You're a CFO, Chief Financial Officer for your personal family, your life. So what does this mean? Okay, I'm a mechanic. Well, the reality is you're a mechanic. It should be a division of a corporation. Because if they sue you, they sue your family. That sucks. You see, we have to realize something today. Okay, we have to protect our family and plan the problem. Let's all write down planning the problem. Come on. Let's plan the problem. Today you got sued. Screwed up. You're married. Now you're both named in the lawsuit. That's called dumb. If you had a marriage agreement, they can't sue both of you at the same time. You got to plan the problem. Plan the what? Problem. But the reality is if you don't plan the problem, you're going to basically get what? Your assets kicked. Assets, holding company, property management. Oh, number one, management company, yes. Assets, yes. Liability, yes. An irrevocable trust, yes. You understand, when I studied the Rockefellers, they were my favorite ones. I like the Rockefellers because John D., all right, in 1934, all right, 10 billion, never had to pay what? Property tax. All right, no tax, no probate and all this crap that people do all the time. So the bottom line, let's go here. Okay, I slow down. I wish I'd slow these suckers down. Okay, you spell Ray wrong. It's R-A-E or R-A-Y. Ray, R-E-Y, is a girl's name. Take over your physical health, okay? All right, again, how do we play the game? Well, the bottom line is you have to control what you're trying to do, okay? Control, what does that mean? So if we have a irrevocable trust on equities and assets, that would be the goal to do that, okay? So again, what do we play the game to work with, okay? Now, let's understand something, okay? If I have my life as a CFO for my family, it is God, family, money. Because my wife and I became one. That's how it works. Yes, Uncle Sam's going to tax you. And if you don't learn tax balancing, you're going to pay tax. Congratulations. Tax balancing is going to help you, all right, from there. Living trust is a piece of crap. Okay, they challenge us all the time. Revocable trust is a piece of crap. Irrevocable trust is the only way you want to play, unless you want to deal with crap, okay? All right, well, the bottom line is very simple, okay? So what do? We have ourselves as the CFO. All cards fluctuate once again. They fluctuate. You're going to hear that from me a million times. I help set up the system behind the scenes. I'm the one to train Yarborough. Stick you behind every card, dummy proof it. What you're going to do is realize these don't fluctuate at all. And when you have that old bad day, week, month, or year, you're not going to bring the pain home. What you might want to think about is restructuring your life. All right, was Rockefeller funded, all right, by the British? Okay, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Okay, Rockefeller's all over the friggin' world. Who cares? Okay, the British are coming, the British are coming. So again, I mean, to me, that's just a silly question. Let's focus. Should your irrevocable trust be a 501c? Hell no. No. Why would you take a nonprofit and tie it into irrevocable trust? That's called dumb. Your irrevocable trust will control assets in a nonprofit and in an LC, LLP, whatever you got. So again, this is what you have to learn and understand and play the game. So going back to basics, my first series, 76, winning the game of business, okay? Driving a Lamborghini, having my race cars and race boats. And every race car I ever had has number 8 on it. That's when I was born on the 8th. All right, having fun. Race cars, race boats, motorcycles. So I like goodies, but I don't own any goodies. Okay, I've never owned a goodie, all right? Your problem is you want to put everything in your name. You got to stop that. How do you connect them all? Well, that's why you go to class and you don't fall in your what? You pay attention. Most people on here have the attention span of a goldfish, unfortunately. Well, I'm hoping not most people VP properties. So you became a client about a week ago. Fantastic. But again, all right, everybody deserves a chance. Out of all this, they can learn something. That's the ultimate goal. Okay? So again, I'm dropping out. Doesn't matter whether others then drop out. See, 99% of people want to play and learn how to play the game. Dropouts happen all the time. So those are the people who have crappy credit, bring the pain home, and bitch and complain. And that happens all the time. You have a 503, get it to 650. Get it to 750. That can be done in 90 days, 650. All right, 6 months to 750. But again, it's how you want to do things. How do I join the class? Well, guess what? Linktree. There's a Linktree. Wow, DM me. And I'll have someone send you the links. The class today is at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, by the way. And we're going to go through analyzation. I'm going to show you all the things you could do if you want to play with me and basically for the long term, but it's up to you. So just like anything else, if you have crappy credit, okay, I wrote Winning the Game of Business, and I also wrote Winning the Credit Game. Prove it or remove it. It'll help you basically do things. All the dispute letters on planet Earth and on basically those platforms came from Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. That's just me. All right, Winning the Credit Game. Simple. All right, these are free downloads, by the way. I give it out for free to everybody. Why would I want to charge for something to help people? That's no fun. Credit bureaus used to have consumer credit counseling, one of my companies. What do? We help people. If you have kids in high school and college, get them what's called Starting Out Right. Because it'll teach them the rules and tools. It's a free download. DM me. That's all I got to do. Look in the link tree. Okay, we love you. Okay, we love you too. I love people who want to listen and learn. It's half the fun. Okay, why do you do change tax? Why do you charge for tax? All right. Read online. Okay, all right. Well, that wasn't true back then anyway. Okay, it was an idiot writing a stupid story. Okay, and he lied. All right, because they stole my goodies, my 3.7 billion. But again, why don't we just basically talk about positive versus you being a negative person? And that's how it works, unfortunately. So what we do, this is a free download, okay? Free download. And that means you can get a copy, all right, for free for your kids in high school. I want kids in high school and college to watch what needs to be done. I'm a high school, hey, I wish I wouldn't scroll so fast. All right, dropout, watching your life, willing to learn. Well, Boss Ray, okay, I understand something. I never went to high school. High school would have wasted my friggin' time. But I was at Orange Coast College at 14 and a half, okay? So school, listen carefully, school helps you, yes, learn and use your brain. Anybody can memorize the answers. That's all I had to do, get all the papers. But again, school doesn't teach you life. Life does it when you kick your ass at. You, all right, who was a dropout from high school, I could get you into a millionaire status within this year. That would be the challenge. Show everybody you know and prove them wrong, because they'll have a damn opinion, okay? So guess what we do? Do you have to pay for the link? Well, no, you don't, unless you go to a paid class. Why do you have to pay for a link? It's a link tree. All right, get the free book. You have Winning the Game of Credit. You have also this one for kids. This is free. It's a download. It's called Starting It Right for the kids in high school and college. See, I'm actually the guy who wants to change the world for free and help everybody I can. But again, there are services you can pay for our employees to get paid and everything else and bonuses. But that's up to you. Today's 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time class is free. I'm going to show people the ones that were analyzed this week. Analyzed, okay? These folders here, every one of these people, if they do what they're told, okay? Do what they're told, I will get them to $1 million status within this next 12 months or less. If they do what they're told, okay? So I'll come back at 3 p.m. That's fantastic. Pacific Standard Time, please. Whatever time zone you're in right now, it is 4:47 in the morning. 4:47, yes, okay? So again, I'm going to show these people as they got analyzed how to turn their life into $1 million structure, do tax balancing, and not bring the pain home. Okay? I'm hoping you will show up and learn and listen too. But I just want to change the world. Now, I got to do some things around the office, been having some fun with you. Okay, and that's always good as well. If you want to walk around with me, you can, to learn some of the things I do here too. Now, I'm known as the Incorporated for Rich and Famous, if you don't know that. I've sold more corporations on planet Earth than anybody ever, and I was the largest registered agent in the world. We got about 2,100 famous people. We have a president of the United States of America. I've actually done 3 corps, Lakers, Clippers, and Dodgers, and Angels. So we used to have a wall of fame with 2,100 people. That was before I died in the coma in 2009, and I had to rebuild my life again. At the time, it was 3.7 billion of structure. So you can build your life again and again if you choose to, but it's up to you. Your life is your life. God gave you life. If you listen and learn today, you can play the game to win. Now, I have to do my little routine, and if you have questions, I'll try to answer your questions. You do this as well. Trump is up there. Well, actually, he's also one I did corps for years ago as well. All right, Palos Verdes, California. So we play the game. Why that computer keeps turning itself off? Because they rebooted the electricity today. Who knows? But my first one was Ronald Reagan, by the way. When I turned around and I did Teach Our Children, all right, Nancy Reagan turned that into the DARE program, by the way. Teach Our Children was under the Giving Days Foundation and also Helping Hand Industries. I did the Orange County Blind Center as well, because I've always had this gift to help people and get them what I call pass go. People get stuck, okay? Everybody needs a helping hand. That's why I started Helping Hand when I was 9.5 years old. Look it up on Secretary of State's website. How much do people need to invest to get millionaire status? I don't know what you have set up today, okay? Do you have an LLC, okay? Do you have an LLP? Why don't you use credit I build you to finance it? How's that? Use the credit that I build you to finance it. Wouldn't that be the best thing to do? Why would you just spend a bunch of money? You can, okay? Now we're gonna go in the hallway. I got some things, like I said, I have to do. There'll be light, very simple. Let there be light. All right, so what do? We go into the call center. I'm carrying a box of donuts for them. On Fridays, I bring donuts to them. I go to the donut store, usually at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get on live at 3:15 to help people. Kind of fun stuff. So what is our goal? Now, let's understand 80% of the people you hire are not worth a damn. Okay? You hire 100 people, 20% are great, 80% of the rest of them suck. That's just life. Okay? They're going to milk the job, okay, not appreciate a damn thing, and basically be a bunch of jerks. 80% of your employees. Congratulations. 20% of the winners will help you get rid of the losers. That's how it works. So always remember, okay, it's like us, we have our 20%. Here's the paralegal department, okay? No problem. Here's Daniel. Daniel is our little IT engineer genius, helping us as well. I've now been on social media now 7 weeks. I'm trying to get to 20,000, 25,000 followers by next week on Monday. That's my next goal, okay? So on the walls, hopefully it's not backwards, and if it is, I'll read it to you. Make a friend, make a buck. What does that mean? My employees are trained to help people first, then sell them something because you know they're going to sell you something. They're going to get a paycheck and a commission. That's life. So they will sell you something, but something that works. And then you're stuck with me 6 days a week, okay? I will not have anybody be part of any program, any one of my companies, unless I personally help them myself. That's just our kitchen and stuff, okay? What does this mean? You buy books and crap and you go to different events. Fantastic. What did you learn? You got to watch somebody else's what? Story, okay? Story. You got to hear, I watched this last silly thing. All you heard for 3 days is everybody telling their story. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn about their story. I give a damn about my story. My question would be, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? Okay? I'm just lighting candles in the restroom, by the way, for men and women. We have a vending machine to spoil our employees as well, because that's what we need. So, if we listen and learn like today, you could change your life if you want to. Okay? But again, you'd have to listen, learn. This is our vice president's office. His name is Santos. And you could learn to play the game to win. Okay, I want a donut. Well, go to the donut store. I can't hand it to you for the phone. All right, I don't eat donuts. Go through history. I started one of the largest donut chains in the world, by the way. Okay, because that was one of my companies as well, because I didn't want to have a business. I wanted to have auto income. Auto income, when I wrote the book on laundromats and car washes years ago, and payphones and all the other things, what do? So, if we listen and learn, we could change our lives. Is that what you want to do? Listening and learning is kind of fun. So guess what? Today, if you're at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, online with me, I'm going to show you an example of a blueprint. It's a blueprint of success, okay? Very simple. All right, this way you can actually avoid tax. I didn't say tax evasion. I said tax avoidance or tax balancing. Depends how you want to call it, okay? We have the choice to listen and learn. Your paycheck is taxed. It always is. The way to get money back is what you have as a write-off, like a house payment. But your paycheck should equal your lifestyle. So let's write down paycheck is lifestyle, lifestyle is paycheck. You could get to the point you literally have the ability to take that 753 score and create $1 million of credit in 6 months or less under a corporation or an entity. Now the ladies' bathroom here, I'm going to go there. Their candle was gone because we'll use it. Now I did cut the tip like Brandy says we should cut the tip. Okay. Today they're going to smell like cinnamon. Hopefully they'll like that. There you go. So, as we play the game to win. Today, if you have an LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, whatever type you have, or PC, Professional Corp, Supreme Court says those are all legal people. A legal person can create a division process, what I created years ago, in 1985, by the way. Good morning, Brandy. Paycheck is lifestyle, and lifestyle is paycheck. That's correct. If we did everything correctly under the LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, PC, we could get to the point we understand, okay, how to have division process. We don't have to bring the pain home. People choose because their lack of knowledge is why they bring the pain home every day. So Brandy, when you get here, every computer has to be basically, all right, rebooted because we had a power outage, of course, and the storm we had last night. Be careful driving through the trees. They're all over the streets, driving through the streets. Because there are palm trees everywhere. I did that computer earlier, but now it's rebooting or who knows what it's doing. We'll play with that in a minute. So how do you get the link for the classes at 3 p.m.? Well, get to the link tree, DM me, okay? Call 800-254-9506. All right, in about an hour, hour and a half, because then people will be here. Right now, it's only 4:55 in the morning. Is that about right? Yeah, okay, that's right. So again, we get to play the game. So that's how you get the link. The goal, make sure you have a tab and pen ready. The tab and pen ready is to help you to the process and understand, because we're going to give you an example as a blueprint, okay? So let's write down Blueprint of Success, okay? One of my first series and books that I put out there about 35 years ago. DM me already. Fantastic. Then we'll get you there. That's all we got to do. 800-254-9506. That's correct. It's in the link tree and as well, and you look in the bio. I like to help every one of you if I can. What is that number again? 800-254-9506. The Blueprint of Success, I own the rights to that for the last 40 years. Our attorneys have to remind Tony Robbins to quit trying to steal my goodies, and they even, all right, basically that guy that stole cash flow for your time, all right, Kiyosaki, okay, I own the rights to that too. It's in my book when I started at 15 years old. So again, yes, that's the right number. Just follow me and follow the live. Help me get to that 25,000 followers by Monday. All right, I think that's 18,000 right now. The goal is to help everybody get to that point and help me. I'm going to help you if you help me. How's that? Is that fair? You help me, I help you. Answer your questions and have fun and guide you in the right way. But understand what's going to happen, okay? All right? I'm going to get you away from the circus and those clowns out there. Using your tax codes, all right? TikTok is better than school. All right? Again, that's your choice to understand that. I've been on TikTok now for about 7 weeks this week, and I'm decided I want to do the social media thing. It's very simple. Brandy says I have 18,100. Okay, so I keep climbing again and again. Usually about 1,000 followers a day. Is that fun? About 20,000 plus likes a day. That's kind of fun too. So or maybe it's a 2,000 and 20,000. I don't know. They're the ones doing this. Pay attention, Ray's lessons on credit, LLC, and trust. Pure gold. Well, it is because God gave me the brain, and I have recall in most things, and I can answer your questions pretty easily. Okay, I don't have to go look it up. I don't go, this, you can do this, that. No. I'm never going to tell you could do this or that. I'm going to tell you what to do flat out. Okay, that's just me. I'm not going to go, so. I'm going to say this is what you're going to do flat out and do it my way. I think your way sucks. Sorry, I don't like your way. I want to do it my way because I build millionaires and billionaires. Careful now, the rich don't want to be poor to get rich. Well, the reality is that's a saying in crap, okay? That's like anything else we basically do, okay? We all have sayings. Cash flow for your time. It's in my book in 1975, okay? All right, winning the game of business, winning the credit game. When I wrote Jesus is not a drive-through, the website, that's going to help people as well. But again, being a Christian's way of life, not a moment in time. These are the things we create and that I create all the time. Okay, I have XRP and over cryptos and gold, wallet, Should I? Number one, no. You do not put that in a trust, you put it in a division. Let the trust control the goodies, okay? All right, or divisions, DBAs. Yes and no, but they have to be set up the right way with credit reports, okay? The way I modified that form in 1984 because I didn't want to pay franchise tax fee. See, in 1984, I have a problem. The year I first got married to my first wife. I owned some Shakey's, some 31 Flavors, some Subways, some shopping centers, condos. I'm the #1 consultant, and I have my manufacturing for satellite television. I was known as the king of satellite, all right, for years. They're getting hundreds of millions of dollars having fun. But again, 84, I got a letter in the mail, and it's like, what, the blank? In 1984, the letter said, flat out, you had to pay franchise tax fee. In California, our franchise tax fee is up to $800 to $1,000 per year. That would have cost me up to $1.2 million just for a franchise tax fee. Sacramento, I went and asked the question. Okay, the bottom line is very simple. All right. Would you not argue with proven results? Thank you, sir. I always debate things all the time because it's fun. When I went to Sacramento in '84, can I create a form under the corporate structure LLC, and I gave them the list, all right, that would allow me to not pay franchise tax fee? That form was modified 10 times so far. Back then it said husband, wife, and partner. So the bottom line is, guess what? A corporation, LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, RPC, that's the 6 types of entities Supreme Court says is the legal person. A legal what? Person. So again, the management company manages divisions. Divisions are your line of defense. So if I have crypto, it's a division. If I have a house, it's a division. If it's investment. If it's my own house, you should have bought husband and wife separate, never together, on credit, because that makes no sense. All right, you lose a house, they go after both of you. Doesn't make no sense at all. We have to realize God made us one. That's good. But again, what do? Yes, you can. Ignorance is tax codes exclude. Well, what happens is basically what you're saying, Rocket 006. All right, the tax codes are out there for a lot of reasons. If you understand tax balancing, you can basically avoid a lot of the tax you pay today. But again, what do? We all have to pay tax. Okay, you have a house, it's got, property tax. Road, fire, police, and school. I want to pay that. It's simple. I drive on the road. There's police, there's fire, there's school for my kids. But again, you can get your paycheck taxed back. All paychecks were taxed. You get the leftover. That sucks. But understanding tax balancing gets you your money back from your tax return. Then anything from there should be corporate division process. We should never, 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 never want to be a millionaire. I got a client out there. Okay, him and I don't see eye to eye. I went out there and I taught people how to get to their own ownership of a Wendy's or restaurant, all right, Taco Bell, McDonald's, all these pieces. And what I've done is always auto income. He's out there, let me invest the money for you. I'm rich. Look at me. Whose money are you rich on? I don't like it. I call it a Ponzi. But I don't want to say I'm rich because I'm not rich. If you want to say you're rich, that's called stupid. Because why the IRS hears that? That's why you get indicted for these people opening their big mouths. Have a corporation or entity, manage the divisions, control it as a puppet master, and the reality is never be rich. So again, this is how it should I pay XRP? Well, the reality is yes and no. That's how you structure. Again, how you structure is the key. So the bottom line, every one of you, you got a lot of questions, and that's great. But the problem you have is you have not structured yourself the right way for long term. Everybody in social media today making lots of money, within 3 years will be broke. Broke. Competition will kick their ass and they didn't set it up right. They'll be broke. Okay? Because they don't have structure. Structure builds finance and builds the dreams. There's a reason I make sure, because the Lakers, Clippers, and Dodgers, and Angels, I'm one of the guys I call rich and famous incorporators. There's a reason I always put a nonprofit foundation together for them. Because what happens is very simple. So as you play the game, you get to win. All right? All right, using tax codes. Well, the reality is they can indict a ham sandwich. We'll learn that in law school. But again, you can defend yourself. Again, tax balancing helps you. The tax codes are there for a purpose, but so many people are ignorant, they don't know how to play the game. So understand how we play. Every rich and famous person that I've helped set up corporations over the years have a nonprofit foundation. Why? Let's see. Pay tax, all right? Buy a Lamborghini or Ferrari, I said for over 40 years. Pay tax, buy a spaceship. Pay tax, have a nonprofit. See, you watch Elon Musk borrow $44 billion, all right, to offset tax. Borrow money is not taxable. Musk, Bezos, okay, Buffett, all these people do the same thing. And then what do we do? And 2 of them I've actually helped over the years, by the way, if you don't know that. But we can have fun. The goal is tax balancing. Does your main credit score matter if it's a 540? Yes, it does. You're a CFO. This is Big Knox asks, okay? Your score, you have to be a CFO. You're 540. If you do what I tell you to do, I'll guarantee you a 649, 90 days to get you gold and platinum cards right away. From there, if you have another 90 days, I will get you to 750 guaranteed. Okay, CFO of an estate. Well, Jay, the reality is, as you just joined us a couple weeks ago, all right, we have our whatever corporate piece we have, an irrevocable trust. Okay, that's what we have to look at, irrevocable trust. When I studied the Rockefellers, I was forced to study Rich and Famous as a kid because I wanted out of hell. I mean, how would you feel if you were born in a taxi and they left you in a trash can and they gave you a freaking girl's name? Okay? And then you get used and abused as a kid. You didn't get no mommy, no daddy, no family, no any of this good stuff. How the hell would you feel? That was me. I hid at the library to read books because people, all they do is use and abuse. So how hard is it to get to Maynard in personal credit? First of all, you don't want Maynard in personal credit. That's bullshit. That's BS. You want $100,000 of personal credit, $71,000 of safety. You want your LLC, LLP, nonprofit, PC, or S to have the $1 million of credit and basically do that. That's 9 months or less. If we take, let's watch this. This is fun. If I take these cards that don't fluctuate, they offer 99 more. 99 more. I can get $100 million of credit in 10 months. Would you like $100 million? Well, what would you do with it? Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Everybody, I want to be a millionaire. No, you don't. Okay? If I hand you $1 million today, you'd piss it away, like most of you do all the time. I'll buy a house and a car. No, that's wrong. You're not going to buy a house and a car. Reference 3 times 5. Write it down. I taught Warren Buffett this 39 years ago. Yeah, I did that. We were afloat, having at a diner, having fun. Reference 3 times 5. Okay, let's understand. I take 1 p.m. and buy passive income for our followers. Well, you can take whatever you want. The difference is I'm not going to buy followers ever. Okay, I own property management firm. All right, that's good. If they sue one of those, you're a dead duck. Boom, you're gone. If the properties were a division process, that's what you get to do. Now, back to the reference. Reference 3 times 5. I also trade banks for almost trained the underwriters at a lot of banks for 29 years. So let's understand. If I reference 3, that on paper looks like 3 million. And they give you 5 times more. That's $15 million. For every $1 million you have in the bank, you create $15 million of credit. Write it down. It's a formula. Hell, I taught it to Warren Buffett 39 years ago. For every $1 million, reference 3 times 5 is 15 million. So every million becomes 15 million. Borrow money is not taxable. So you grow your business off borrow money and offset tax. Simple. Corporate credit doesn't show up on personal file. These are 150s. That's called checkbook money. You write a check to buy a Wendy's restaurant or Jack in the Box. Do you work, for BlackRock? All right. No, I do not work for BlackRock. But was I offered as a consultant for things like that in the past? I've been a consultant for many companies. What do? There are 6 of these suckers. Why? They're 50,000 each. Ink cards don't show up on personal file. They have no interest rate, up to 22 months. Personal cards, same way. If you positioned yourself right this year, 2026, this is January 9th, within the next 12 months, you would have a corporation doing $100,000 a month, and you'd have a paycheck to break even. But I get you to listen and learn. By the way, I'll guarantee the results. How's that? I'll guarantee it. If you do what you're told. What a concept. I'm online 6 days a week, twice a day today, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you're there. Have your tab and pen ready to begin today's analyzation. Tomorrow I have 6 events. For Saturdays, listen carefully, all right? 49 years. This year is March. It'll be 50 years. 6 days a week, okay? 6 days a week. 6 days a week, helping people, flat out. That's what I've done all my life, to help people. It's kind of fun. So as we play this game to win, you're stuck with me. You buy any book of mine, for instance, so they were books for the kids, okay? Yeah. This is called Starting Out Right. It's a free download for every kid in high school and college. Why not? You should have learned this a long time ago. You didn't learn diddly squat because no one taught it to you. Starting Out Right's for the kids. It's a free download for the world. You might want to get a copy for you too. It'll teach you a thing or two. But again, what do? Linktree, DM me, share the live with everybody, because I'm having fun. All right. Now, I got a lot of work to do, okay, to play some more, and I can answer questions all day long. It's fun. Can U.S., all right, seize money? All right, I'm not going to go into politics. This is ridiculous. Your corporation can do international banking if you wanted to, but that's beside the point. So, again, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today. All right, put it in your calendar. If you need the link, it's in the link tree. If you don't find that as well, 800-254-9506. Call one of the people at the office. In about an hour and a half, they'll send you the link. Tomorrow, 6 events. Okay, first I'm going to do a live, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's fun, 4 o'clock. Then I'm going to have goal setting for everybody. Then we have nonprofit. It's a paid class, and level 1, 2, and 3. Those are paid classes. Again, if you're not in them, because you didn't pay for them. Wait, one more question. What is the question? Ask. Okay? There's always one more. What is the best bank in the world? Okay? They all suck. They're all Ponzi's. Okay? Authorized by the IRS and basically the government. But I would tell you Chase Bank. Chase, personal cards, business cards, up to 22 months. There's no interest. So it's like free damn money. Okay? That's what I tell you to do. The Chase has a line of credit for $150. Here's the debit card for it. Okay? So I would use that $150 to buy a Wendy's restaurant, a Jack in the Box, storage unit, laundromat, or car wash. I would buy a business that is dummy proof. In other words, you own it, you don't have to do a damn thing. It's run by management companies. That's what I tell you to do. Yeah, that's J.P. Morgan Chase, yes. So that's the one I would deal with the best. But again, there's other things to do. Genius, well, the reality is just, all right, thank you. Share the live, help everybody. I love the DMs from there. Trying to get to 25,000 followers by Monday. Right now they said I'm at 18,000 something. Okay, let's have some more fun. But I got some work to do. I got to check 19 bank accounts, 19 emails, and I got to go through 64 credit cards. You see, because my clients do not have. What about Navy? I love Navy. Okay? Navy's fantastic because if you have an access code. And if you served or your family did, thank you for their service. Understand? Okay? So I like Navy. I got mine because I was sucked into a government program when I was 14 and a half. So the bottom line is very simple. Okay? So what happens? My clients, maybe you, these are Chase cards. What I'm doing is they don't have a bank account that shows, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in it all the time, and I do. So I also have all the transactions. This is $5 million of gold and platinum cards. So I partner with my clients all the time because I have the transactions and millions and billions of dollars I can show and prove, and then basically P&L, and they can log into accounts. They can see that average $500,000 in a certain account. They can see 1,000 transactions. U.S. economy always are to recover. Well, the reality is we can look at politics, the world. Let's look at your circle. Take care of your family first. Okay? What am I doing wrong? You're not playing with me. There's your problem. I'm going to say something. Don't take offense. Your lack of knowledge is your stupidness. Your lack of knowledge is basically stupid. You're getting older, slower. You're not as pretty as you used to be. It's just the truth. If you play with me, I'll get you to millionaire status. If you don't, then that's your problem. You didn't listen. You didn't learn. That's the problem. You're listening to the circus out there. All those clowns going blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. I got 19 accounts to look at. I got 19 emails and 64 credit cards. I got some work to do. I got people coming in 45 minutes. Okay? First team, 6 o'clock. We have a meeting called Setting the Tone. 7:30, the management, setting the tone again for the day. So have a great and a blessed day. Please show up at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Share the live now with everybody. And at 3 o'clock, share with hundreds and thousands of people. DM me. I will tell you the truth. And I will help you get you where you want to go. Okay, have a great day. And I'll see you at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Don't have the link in the link tree. 800-254-9506. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's give all the thanks to God. Okay? Because he gave me the knowledge to help you. That's how it works. It's God, family, and money. All right? We do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget the end of the day. It's simple. God loves us all. Simple to do. See you at 3 o'clock today.